All right, we are live. So, how's it going, everyone? Hopefully this works this time. We're going to try it again. This is the Aftercast, episode 16 again, the redo. I'm your host, Victory Saber 77 or James. I am here with a whole bunch of people. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, and we'll start with Charles, going back to the Golden Boy. Maybe that's why Google dropped my damn video last week.
No. Had nothing to do with that. I'll tell you why they dropped it. That's number one right here. That's why it dropped.
I'm Charles. You can find me on Twitter at Optimus4Prez, and Xbox Live is AutoCon365.
Dakota, you're number 2.
I'm Dakota. Blah blah blah. I'm a Duke. Primal Sabbath. Blah blah
blah. Dalton.
I'm Dalton. You can find me on Twitter, DaltoniansTFs95, and my YouTube.
Brain
as
fart.
far as, sorry, I'm just.
Somebody tell him his YouTube name
I
so
know,
he can
but
shout it out.
someone's got another video playing and it's distracting me. So, anyways, my YouTube is for the screen name. It's changed to Daltonians TFs, but the URL is still Daltonians TF Reviews. So.
All right. And Josh.
You can find me G1Hextron on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and also on Facebook, but it is the G1Hextron.
And Punk Wiley.
Punk Wiley. You can find me on YouTube, same name.
Cool. And Robbie Reap. Robbie, are you there? All right, Robbie will be with us shortly. And remember, check out our website, www.cybercastnetwork.com. We're also having a giveaway. Once we hit 100 members, we've already hit the criteria for our YouTube page, so also go to that also to subscribe and whatnot. But once we hit 100 members on our website, we will be sending out a free T-shirt. No matter where you are in the world, we will get it to you. So membership's free. Also follow us on Twitter, CybercastNet, like our Facebook page, Cybercast Network, and what else do we have? We have Instagram.
We do. Who's posting that? I haven't posted anything there. I've just started posting things to my Instagram, so because like I posted one picture and that was like over 6 months ago. That was like 8 months ago, and then just here recently I've posted a few things there. I think I'm going to start using it a lot more.
All right. Well, it will be up soon, so check us out over there also. But all right. You guys want to kind of continue on the whole Hall of Fame thing? Get the other guys here that their opinions. We know, Dalton, you don't want Wheelie in there. We get it. But is there any of you guys want others that didn't really get on the ballot, I guess?
Six shot.
From
the Headmaster series. Like Josh always says, I love his character development in the series. He just started a Decepticon, but towards the end he became more of an Autobot, and just always just the whole character thing. I just always liked that. So yeah, I'd say definitely Six Shot needs to be in the Hall of Fame someday.
About Six Shot though is, other than the you see him in G1, and if you're just basing it off of American release, then no, because the dude doesn't even say anything.
Yeah.
But a Japanese release is what you would basically base it off of. But is he in any other type of series, or is it just G1?
There was God, who was it in Energon? I don't think they called him Six Shot, did they?
It would have to be
based
Six Shot.
off of the Shockwave, though.
Yeah, but he wasn't because there was Shock Blast, Shockwave, and then there was his brother Six Shot.
Yeah.
Which was basically a black Shockwave. But so I mean that's 2, I guess. So
he just doesn't have a long history. Like I'm with Charles. I think he's one of the best characters far as development goes for that series, Japanese series. But as far as you're talking about, the Transformers history, 1984 to 2014, that I don't think that it's going to really grab a lot of people throughout, different age groups is what I'm saying, and especially because a lot of people, they're not willing to pay they either don't want to read subtitles, or they're not willing to pay for a almost 25-year-old DVD series. So
Yeah.
like, why watch that when I can watch the Transformer Prime or something like that right now? And it's all in English, and I can identify with these characters because they do keep on doing the same ones over and over again. To where it's like Optimus or Prowl or Bumblebee. Those guys are pretty much, even whenever the kind of names change in Beast Wars, Cheetah Wars got a lot of that Bumblebee to them. They're not exactly the same character, but
Watch your tongue.
they just kind of go throughout the entire history, and to where you can identify that that's who this is, or like a Starscream. So that's why you see those guys a lot more, and that's why it's going to be hard to get a lot of these Japanese characters in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does suck that Shout Factory brought it here into the United States, but again, like what you said, some people don't want to watch, subtitles, all that. They want it dubbed and right there for them. But I'm right there with you, Charles. I would love to have some of these Japanese characters, which I think have more in depth than, let's say, Gears. Even though he had a nice episode where he was changing, his emotions around, but I'm sure he'll get into the Hall of Fame far quicker than Six Shot and that. So
See, for me, I'd probably have to cop out and say Hot Rod, or for another option, probably Mirage.
right.
Yeah, that'd be good. On Mirage.
Or maybe certain wreckers. I don't know.
I think if there is one cassette that gets in, the first one, just because he can talk, it's got to be Rumble. I know Dakota said no cassettes, but Laserbeak, Ravage, and Rumble were the three main cassettes that played a pretty big part as far as G1 goes. And I mean, with Rumble, I mean, the dude gets turned into a tree. So I mean, that I don't think that's ever happened before, to where a Transformer gets turned into a tree. So I think that the first cassette that we get in is going to be Rumble.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then I want Rewind, and you need Ramhorn in there.
Ramhorn talked as
Yeah.
well. It was weird how Ramhorn talked, but really none of the other beasts did. So you didn't hear Ratbat or Laserbeak. Didn't Ravage in G1 like say something once or something? Or was it Laserbeak? I think there's it was a mess up basically, to where it went to screen on them and there was something talking, but they didn't move their mouth because it wasn't part of the animation. It was an error, which we know that's very common in G1.
Yeah.
Gosh, no, he did talk in cassette form once,
Okay.
and it was a cool voice.
Yeah. I can see Ratbat in there. I mean, Ratbat was a cool character in the IDW. And progressively on, but I don't know. Anyone else want to chime in with who should be in, or should we go into who should be in?
I'm gonna be the only Trailbreaker guy, aren't I?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Jetfire hasn't made it in at all.
I think he deserves it.
Which one deserves it? Skyfire or Trailbreaker?
Trailbreaker. Cut
Yeah.
the guy a break.
In the Hall of Fame, I mean, I would see Hoist in there before I would see Trailbreaker, or even before them, I would even see Hound.
Hound. Yeah.
Again, whenever I think of this stuff, I keep on thinking like in G1, but I gotta, Hall of Fame, you have to keep your mind as throughout the history, the 30-year history, the guys that are going to get selected the most are the ones that played parts in several different series. So, you know, like, I could see a Blur show up before I could see, someone that was just only in G1, just because, he was an animated, and, there's been a few toys of him, and wasn't he
Armada.
pretty, yeah, Armada, wasn't he, he's pretty awesome, and it's in one of those, or IDW comics, he's pretty awesome.
Armada is pretty. He's not the typical Blur that you think of.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. IDW Blur's still pretty fast talking, sporadic cocained out Blur, so
Perhaps
Not
a good one.
John Machida, though, fast talking.
well, I mean, all the letters are like run together, so I would say John Machida fast talking. You just gotta use your imagination. It's comic.
Yeah, it is funny that seeing the '86 movie and having him in there doing the voice of him. Every time I read any type of fiction with Blur,
Oh yeah.
I'm always
Yeah.
thinking he's going at a mile a minute.
Yep.
That's one thing I also like about with the animated Blur. They brought him back for that. They brought a lot of actors back for certain characters.
Mhm.
Speaking of Blur, what would be really cool is, and I know they don't make this anymore, but Micro Machines, if they would have made a Micro Machine Blur, and yeah, that would have been so cool, because you have the guy that is voicing the commercials for Micro Machines, and it's just, he held the record for fastest talking human alive until Guinness said that this doesn't need to be a thing anymore. We're gonna put in their oldest lady with the longest toenails or whatever, instead. But
Yeah.
whatever. It doesn't make sense. But they took that category out, so it no longer exists. But he was the fastest talking human alive, and he did those Micro Machine commercials. And maybe just have one that was Blur, that would have been so cool. Just because
So-
you were like, that's him.
So are you telling me they should also make Blur into a FedEx truck, since John Machida did the FedEx commercials back then too?
I'd be down with that. I mean, I just
FedEx
know
truck
him
with
as a
jet
kid.
boosters on the back. There you go.
I just know him as a kid as the Micro Machine guy,
Yeah.
and then later on, finding that you see the movie and you're like, I know that voice. You're like, that's the way you refer to him, is you're like, that's the Micro Machine guy. It'd be cool.
Yeah. But it's weird to see the movie and hear Robert Stack being Ultra Magnus thinking of unsolved mysteries. Weird.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock as Galvatron. Such, but
Yeah.
it worked.
Or John Bender as Hot Rod.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I love the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For being a '90s kid and all, having the superior childhood. I feel so humbled amongst all you older folks.
Yeah, we've all seen the Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club, what every teen angst movie aspired to be.
Yeah, the Brat Pack.
hmm Oh, I wasn't talking about the Breakfast Club. I was talking about Beast Wars being the
Whatever.
superior childhood.
There would
I
be
don't know where
no
you got
Beast Wars if there was no G1.
But
There would be no Transformers as we know it today if it weren't for Beast Wars.
Exactly.
You got to
And as much
respect
as
your
that-
elders.
And as much as I'd hate to say it, I'd have to say the same for Bayformers. I mean, they're terrible movies, but it's keeping the brand alive.
unfortunately, that is true.
But do you really think that the Bay movies are keeping it, like, if there was no Bay movies that came out in '07, you think Transformers would have just kicked the bucket, kind of like G.I. Joe?
The thing is, Transformers wasn't really doing terrible by any means back in 2006. Without the Bay movies, I mean, they were still doing pretty good profit-wise. It's just then you look at what Hasbro started making after the '07, '09, and '11 movies, and you see all the other bars are about that big, and these movie bars are like that big.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that the little bitty bars weren't
Those are
exceptional amounts
millions
of
of
profit.
dollars. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're millions of dollars. So
it's for them
it took
to
an increase and grabbed new fans is what it did. It didn't keep it alive, or
Yeah.
it just
Well,
boosted the popularity amongst people that weren't Transformer fans.
yeah.
So
But granted, with that popularity, I don't think the classics line would have lasted as long as it has
no.
without that, because you got all these older fans jumping back into the kind of group of things, collecting toys again, and I don't think third parties would have done so well either, to be 100% honest.
They
Yep.
wouldn't even had third parties, really. Or as much as they are now, yeah.
If we did, I would doubt that it would be full-fledged figures. I think it'd still be little
Add-on
add-on kits,
kits.
garage kits, stuff like that. Which, I mean, that'd be more to my liking. So screw you, Michael Bay.
And speaking of Michael Bay, did you guys, any of you that, I already talked to Jam and Josh, but have you guys seen the new TV spots?
I haven't. I saw the one with Drift riding Slag.
The
That's-
Wolf one was pretty cool. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah,
Like
it was.
Thundertron.
wolves.
I saw that.
Yeah, I've got the link in the chat if you want to take a look
So,
at it. I don't know if it's-
speaking of which, did you all see the spot where they showed Stinger how he transformed?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty tight.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, that was
That was-
interesting.
I just based off that, I could see something like Beast Machines, just how they did it. Just kind of completely molecular change rather than regular transformation.
Yeah.
I will admit, this new movie coming out, I'm not like overly excited, but I am kind of like, no, I'm interested. There's a lot of different things going on, and I like more of the characters now, and
That and Dinobots.
it's gonna be pretty decent. I mean, too bad it didn't start off this way.
Yeah.
What if this movie started off the whole Bayformers? In a way.
Well, likely there wouldn't be a budget big enough to kind of deal with
Yeah.
all of these. I mean, you got to think.
Yeah.
For the first Transformers movie, they weren't approaching the mayor of Chicago and the mayor of Detroit and saying, "Hey, we really want to blow the shit out of downtown." For a Transformers movie, are you cool with that? Back then they would have, back in 2007, they would have said, for the toy line, no, leave. But in 2009, 2011, well, okay, yeah, you can destroy downtown, sure.
Throw in as many extras you want, just name it, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish other, old school 80s franchises could get that much love. Like, I mean, G.I. Joe I thought would have been good, but
Yeah.
damn.
Well, I mean, you got
They
Channing
made it-
Tatum and The Rock in it, so that was where they messed up to begin with.
Well, they made it over complex because if
Is
you
it?
remember
Mhm.
the original GI Joes, that you had these guys with these crazy outfits, and it was the guy that wrote the story, the original comic that it's all
Larry
based
Hama.
off of, was Vietnam vet, and he wrote these based on people that he kind of depicted as his squad mates and stuff like that. He obviously added to it. I mean, there wasn't a Sergeant Slaughter, or anything like that. But
Or a Snake Eyes.
yeah, he didn't have this guy that couldn't talk or anything like that. But he made it simple, and every character could have their cool story. And I mean, you had each guy kind of had a skill that they could implement into the cartoon or the comic, and to where Cobra was just all these people followed him because he was a kind of like a dictator, and this is the way it is, and this is what we're gonna do, world domination at any cost, and
Power
we
hungry.
just want to take this thing over. And what do you say?
I said power hungry maniac.
Yeah, I mean, he was basically Hitler, So, that's kind of the way it was, and it's just a simple storyline. And you have these guys that are trying to, anti-terrorist organization GI Joe prevent that, and they made the movie to where it was like you have the serum, because now these people aren't just following Cobra Commander, and he's not even Cobra Commander at that point. That he's actually some scientist, which we find out was actually the brother of the Baroness, which was good at one point, and in love with Duke, which that never happened, and then it's just a total mess.
Scarlet falls in love with Ripcord.
Which that was a boring character anyway. I mean, that's like a no-name character. It could have been, something else, but they just didn't do it right. They took that, let's try to be funny with Marlon Wayans, and
they made it cheesy.
Tatum.
Crap.
Yeah, the only serious character in there is played by Ray Parks as Snake Eyes. That I can actually be like, you know what, he did a good job. He didn't talk, but he played Snake Eyes. The way that it was supposed to be, and he's an actual martial artist. Like he was actually Darth Maul. In the Star Wars episode
Toad.
1.
Don't forget Toad.
Yeah, and Toad. They didn't really show off a lot of martial arts there, but they just made it too cheesy. With the. They could have done so much better. It's just make it simple. We don't even have to have the little laser weapons or the weapon that shoots off a burst of air or something like that. It makes people fly all over the place. You could have made it like real guns. And us Joe fans, even though we saw that it was lasers back in the 80s, we would have been cool with that. They wanted to do realism, but they did some like crazy crap that was unrealistic to where.
And where did cyber suits come from? Like, okay, somebody saw Iron Man.
Yeah.
Well, that actually it came out right after Iron Man 1, which was very successful. My mom even went to that movie with me because she was like, you know what? I've seen the previews or trailers of this, and this looks really good. She doesn't know a ton about it. She knows about from whenever me and my brothers were growing up and buying these comic book characters. But she's like, I know who Iron Man is, but this trailer looks cool. I want to go see that movie with you whenever you go. So it was a really popular movie, and they're like, how can we implement that to the G.I. Joe movie? These guys have these freaking Iron Man suits. They're just tearing up the town. It doesn't make any sense.
Marvel did it right. I don't know what Hasbro was thinking with the G.I. Joes, because that's a great marketing scheme with all the toys you could come out with, but, I don't know. But as far as the Transformers movie, I am a little excited for this one, just because of the stuff that we're seeing, the new stuff, and the curiosity. I will be pissed, though, if Galvatron becomes Motormaster and there's a Venusaur, and we have this and we have that, and we see Unicron off in the distance.
Victory Saber, don't get your hopes up.
Well, I heard somebody on YouTube saying that they think that Lockdown Ship is supposed to be Unicron's hand or something. The way it looks.
That's the prime product of the internet. So
who said that?
Somebody, I forgot who it was on YouTube said it. It was like they got their own YouTube channel or something.
I can tell you that I'm in like 3 scenes of the Transformers 4 movie. You gonna believe me?
I'm actually an executive producer, Charles, and I'll have it on my channel a little bit later.
As a matter of fact,
if it's on the internet, it must be true.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm the real Michael Bay. It's true. He saw right through it. Movie's going to be pushed back another 3 months. We got to reshoot that whole thing.
Well, if you are the real Michael Bay, we are going to have a talking whenever I come to Botcon.
Oh man, we still need to talk about that whole Botcon scenario thing. Like, I mean, none of you guys know it. Josh and James know what I'm talking about, but no one else does.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it that way.
Real quick, you got a couple of comments. A couple of people joining us. Transformer Guy 223 and Super Z Man 85. So thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah. Let's see what else is there. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on something. But what do you got? You got something?
I was gonna say, which actual Dinobots do you think will be in the movie?
Well, we
Just because
know-
we know we're coming out with several there, and we know that they're not gonna implement like whatever 8 Dinobots
Was
in
there
there.
like 7? Yeah, 7 or 8.
We know that 3 of them are for sure incorporated, though. We know that Slag and Strafe and
Grimlock.
Swoop and Grimlock, yeah.
Well, now we've seen Scorn in one of the TV spots.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then there's Scorn
Scorn.
too.
We
so that's
saw
4.
Scorn,
Yeah. How about Slug or Slog? Slog? Is that his name? Sludge?
Slog.
Yeah, Slog.
That would be a nice one to
For
see. I don't
sure.
really care about
And for
Slug.
simplicity's sake, I'm gonna still call him Slugs. I don't give a damn.
Which
It would
one?
have been
What?
nice.
Oh, I was just saying, for simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna always call him Sludge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Now,
don't know. I mean, it may be all 7. Who knows?
Man.
we're gonna get that
what's-
Velociraptor. What's his name? Slash.
Flash.
Dang. So instead of huge explosions at the end, we're just going to have a huge amount of Dinobots. Just ripping and tearing up just Decepticons left and
Yeah.
right.
Cons, vehicles.
I wonder how big that Grimlock is gonna be in robot mode. I mean, just to see the sheer size of him in the movie.
We're not gonna see that in a trailer. That's obvious that they've showed him off several times, and they could have showed something off of him in robot mode, and that's gonna be something that they're gonna save for the movie, which I do appreciate.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we see so many trailers, TV spots, and all this stuff. I mean, we saw the first one back on the Super Bowl, which was in early, February. So
Hello.
go
Hey,
ahead.
what's up, man?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
You guys can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
And that's the same thing with Drift. I mean, you really only catch a little bit of Drift in the trailers. Like a very little bit of him in the trailers. So I don't know. I'm kind of happy about that too. I hope he doesn't turn into that helicopter. But
I will die laughing in theaters if that happens, and I will be dude, I will just like walk out and start calling Dakota. Be like, "Do you see this?"
I'm hoping they show the movie to all of us golden tickets early, so that way, like, if I am very displeased, I'm just gonna go like just marching around Hollywood trying to find where Paramount's like headquarters is. And you're like, all right, guys, you got some big time explaining to do.
And guys, in case you were wondering, my I'm Robbie Reap on YouTube. Robert Reap on Twitter, and on Cybercat I'm Cybercat Network. I'm Bionicle Master.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
What was the next thing you were talking about, James?
Oh, I wanted to. I mean, this is something I was kind of curious about because we kind of touched on something last week or the week before, or something like, if you finally completed your collection, would you stay in Transformers? Like dive into something else. Like you collected all G1, you're done with G1. Now I'm thinking, well, I like Transformers Prime. I'm gonna go and start collecting that. But what I kind of want to, for you, Josh, because you're G1. Obviously,
Yes.
you're not going after Michael Bay stuff or Armada, Unicron stuff, but is, for any of you out there, depending on what you collect, is there one figure that you could use to sell your, your basis of why you collect that series? Let's say it's Armada and you choose Unicron. Unicron's the best out of this entire line, and this is why you should be collecting it in some ways. Just kind of curious.
That is so
Wow.
hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially with being a classic collector.
That's kind of a tough one for me. Um, because I don't because I guess my movieverse Nightwatch Optimus Prime. That would probably be the um one figure I could um, that would be my answer.
Okay.
I would. Oh, go ahead. I guess I'll let you go. Go ahead.
So with me for Movieverse, I'd probably say the leader, Revenge of the Fallen Prime, or for classics, probably Springer. That's just the best classics figure that's come out so far. Still.
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
Yeah.
not the Seekers or the Lambo mold or the Prime mold. Come on, for the classics line, right? Oh, we must be losing it then. Oh, that's right. We don't run Fun Pub. For
And it, and is that the GDO version or the
The newest one, the Voyager.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the true triple changing Springer.
yeah,
You're
not
not
the
gonna
one.
you're not
Not
gonna
the
say
one that
Blitzwing.
Oh God.
You know, as far as G1, I'm gonna name two here, but one's from American line and one's from the Japanese line. As far as the American line, I'm gonna say Triptychon. He's just one of my favorites, and he's just the one that whenever I look at a shelf, I just look at him because you get the electronics. He has, he can walk. You have the motions with the radars. Comes with a bunch of accessories. Um, you have he can, he's a triple changer. He can turn into a base, which, in my opinion, I think is probably the best base. Fort Max would probably be second. But I just love Triptychon, everything about him. I love his colors. I mean, you see that figure, and anyone that grew up in the 80s or the early 80s, and they never had a Triptychon, and they walk into your room and they see you have that their eyes will automatically go towards that. They're just like, oh, that's Triptychon, because that's how I was, because I never owned them until I became a collector. As far as Japanese, I'm going to go with Lio Kaiser, just because of the fact that this is, the first combiner to where you don't need the foot plates. You don't need the fist. Then, so he all combines. The only thing is the head, or helmet, I guess you could say, that slides on over, Leo's Zack. But also the great thing about him is he comes with the breast formers, which transform on their own. So they can be the breast, or they can turn into guns. So there's a lot of play value there. And I just, with the breast formers, changing, and then you have the regular guys. I'm just going to call them deluxe, but they can transform, and then they are also kind of they're not really triple changers, but they can go in a combined mode where you don't even need any of the the other accessories that are easily lost, which that is how you sell someone on the Japanese line, in my opinion, or G1 in general.
Yeah.
As far as Beast Wars stuff goes, I still got to stick with Big Convoy. It's the absolute best, and it represents everything Beast Wars had, with it being a shell former, the articulation, just everything about it really kind of brought all the Beast Wars line into one, and just sort of helped incorporate all that, at least in my opinion. And it was the first Transformer with a Matrix. I mean, you don't just, get that very often. I really got to sit here and think for a while for which Botcon figure would really be the biggest selling point for that particular thing, because I collect Botcon stuff too. It's just those two lines.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to answer the question since I collect too much crap. So.
We got a couple of comments. Transformers Guy 223 says that he thinks the ship is a pod from Unicron, and that lockdown was sent by Unicron. Okay.
Cool.
And he says, guys watched the TV spot called Help. It revealed quite a bit of
What is that?
Robbie, you got a lot of background noise going on.
Sorry.
All right, now what, Dalton?
I have a question for you all. What is the most annoying Transformer in all of Transformers? Your top 5 most annoying Transformers in all of Transformers that um, um, that you just want to punch in the face.
All right. We'll get to that in
Really?
a second. We'll get to that in a second. Let's have the other guys answer the other question first.
Okay,
So, Charles, Lawrence, Punk.
Wow. That's a hard question.
Just go with Beast Wars, guys. I mean,
No, but I do have one in mind, and I still have them on my shelf, even though I'm mostly kind of a cross. I guess you could say a cross-gen collector.
Robbie, I'm
I
going to
don't know.
mute you for the moment. All right, go ahead.
Okay, I gotta say, and this is when I thought, this was the beginning of something. The Black Convoy Scourge G2 Optimus Prime mode.
nice.
Just the articulation on him, and I was like, wow, they actually did it. Made a transformer toy that could move. Yeah. And I thought, we're on something here. Fully articulated Transformers. Of course, it took a while for it to happen again.
A couple years. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I really want to pick up the Fun Pub version.
Yeah. I had to give them away, but I loved that Fire Convoy. The one at the Robots in the Skies, the Fire Truck,
Yeah.
Optimus Prime, yeah.
Yeah.
Then Armada came out, and I'm like, okay, what the hell happened to all the articulation, fella?
I think that's what all of us thought. Like, I know as a kid, I was like, all right, this is trash. I'm done with this.
What are you talking about? That's when it started getting better. I forget. Someone told me something. I forget. It was on Twitter, but they said this has like no articulate. Or they were talking about the little minifigures that I picked up. They were like, they have. Yeah, he was like, they have no articulation. I was like, I'm a G1 collector. I'm used to that. I mean, that's exactly what my shelves consist of. So that's not a problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
I feel you on that, and I'll always have a special place in my heart for G1, but it's like, I can't go back to that.
See, the thing is, it's like a single G1 figure is just god awful, but a shelf of G1 figures is awesome.
Awesome, yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
just absolutely outstanding.
Awful. What are you talking about?
Depends on what that one G1 is, though.
I mean,
if you're talking about Megatron, then you don't know what you're talking about because that thing is awesome.
oh man, his whole 2 points of articulation, I know.
But if you're talking like
killer.
broadside, that's horrible. If you just had
You know,
it
I mean,
on a shelf
even-
all by
If you're talking about broadside, then yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I own Hot Rod and Starscream, and I love both of those. I have the commemorative sideswipe. I really like that one too. But it's like, I don't know if it was just those and there wasn't a bunch of other Starscreams and Hot Rods and sideswipes around them, I would probably be rethinking what I was doing with those. So I don't know. Like I find that just shelves full of like G1 or even Brave stuff is just so awesome.
Oh, I should show
Like-
you a picture then.
Oh my god. It's something about just a bunch of bricks on a shelf that really that really strikes that awe chord with and then but it's just one just by itself. I'm like, meh, and I don't know, that's just kind of how it ends.
Right on. Anyone else want to answer that question?
I don't even know what the question is.
Well, the question is, where the hell were you? No.
I was in town getting food, much needed food.
No, the question was, for the line that you collect, what one figure would you kind of showcase to kind of sell your, why you kind of collect that line? Whether it be Armada, Prime, G1, whatever.
Well, I've been collecting these generations right now.
Okay, so what generation figure? Hello.
Hey, Robbie. Robbie, I'm gonna mute you. Unmute yourself when you're ready to talk, but you got a ton of background noise, man. All right,
Well,
go ahead.
I would have to say either War for Cybertron, Optimus, or Megatron.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Optimus, yeah.
And man, even that Megatron, those are some really tight molds.
Yes, they are.
You have anything, Charles?
I'd probably say the Masterpiece Landmore molds and the Masterpiece Blue Street, the Nissan Fairlady molds. Just amazing articulation.
Yeah.
Good job, Charles.
I'd probably see Soundwave if it were Masterpiece. Soundwave or Prime.
Yeah, Prime. But I have to agree with you. That Lambor mold, since I got it back, I really like it. I'm gonna try and find hopefully the Goldie one at Botcon. Hopefully someone's gonna have it there. But yeah,
Actually, I think for the Masterpiece line, I think you could probably just use any figure from that line as a selling point.
yeah, you could.
I mean, because they actually found a way to take the cell shape, the cell model. Because, when you watch the cartoon and it transforms, things have a tendency to disappear.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen in the one toy. And for them to have actually found a way to do that, it's amazing.
I've been thinking about my one Botcon figure to kind of sell all the Botcon figures.
Can we touch on the Masterpiece one real quick?
Yeah.
I was gonna think, what Masterpiece figure would you not show someone if you're trying to sell someone on the Masterpiece line? Because I gotta think, me personally, it would be the Rodimus. Because
Shut your
there's
mouth,
people
Josh.
that I'm not saying that it's a bad figure. I'm just saying that there's been a lot of problems with it, things breaking.
Yeah, I've
and
heard that.
And I know there's different versions and stuff like that, but let's just talk about the figure here, and you put it in front of them. You don't know which version it is. Do you really want to sell someone on a Masterpiece and be like, here's something, you should get into this line, and it starts to break right in their hands?
For the record, as far as like the Hasbro one goes, I think Proto Man's is like probably
But
literally.
that's what I talked about.
Does that has done that? The Takara first. I mean, I don't know. You put a Takara
That's what I'm
version
saying.
2.
You don't know which one you're getting in your hand. I'm just handing you one. You don't know which version it is, and I was like, "There's a Masterpiece."
The leg panels.
I haven't had any problems with mine yet, but mine would be MP1. That's the one I would not sell or showcase to people if I'm trying to showcase the Masterpiece line, because one, it doesn't fit, and two, it's overly too much. The MP10 is so much better, far superior.
Yes, it is. It is.
There's some people that think that MP1 is like the end-all be-all best Masterpiece.
Because it has the pistons in it.
Yeah.
Because it has all these other little details, stuff like that. Which it's a cool figure. I got it. I still haven't opened it, but
Yeah.
And my friend thinks it's better than MP10.
Well, your friend, you shouldn't be friends with that.
I think I think the worst Masterpiece that I've seen is I agree with people. It is Rodham. Either Rodimus or Jaguar.
Really? So I'm surprised no one mentioned Masterpiece Megatron.
That was the one I was about to say.
that was gonna be my second one.
Yeah,
That was
would
gonna
probably
be my second.
my number 2.
The thing I don't like about that is the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I heard that one's really finicky as well. That people are just, even reviewers, they'll be like, you can see that the
They don't
frustration.
even transform it on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really that it's overly finicky. It's just the arms and the legs throw it off for me. I do not like his arms, and I don't like his legs, and that's why I got rid of it. I mean, it was really impressive there for a while, but it just got to where I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, Dakota, what's your bot gun? I want to hear. I want to know.
For the 3H years, it'd be Fractal and Pack Rat. And honestly, it's really overall Fractal and Pack Rat because it incorporates creating new characters.
Okay.
And quality over quantity. For the Fun Pub years, definitely Desaurus.
Oh, wow.
Super
Lord.
original idea for that mold. I mean, crazy original, awesome pick for a 7 changing, RID Megatron Galvatron mold.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
I mean, if we were going on sets, it'd be '06, but just single figures, I couldn't pick a single '06 figure out, so it's definitely the '05 Desaurus.
Cool. Right on. All right. So, let's see. Next question. So what did we have? Or here real quickly, since we're kind of on the same kind of topic a little bit, is there a figure from a line that you think is absolutely like fantastic, but you don't collect that line, and you're kind of like, I wish I would pick it up, want to pick it up, but since I don't, I'm not going to touch it.
For me,
I'll go first.
okay, go ahead.
MP10, because I know once I pick it up, that'll be it for me.
Right on.
Didn't you say you're getting the
Right.
Masterpiece Ultra Magnus?
I'm gonna try my damnedest too, and I figure like if that happens,
For me,
Better be ready to come out.
but yeah, I feel like I'm kind of scared too now because I feel like if I do, that's gonna be it for me.
The
Josh
thing
is
is
giving
about the
away.
master. Well, the
I am-
Masterpiece is the only thing that you'll never regret buying, in my opinion. Like you can buy Generations figures, and like I can buy the, just the Scrapnel that should be here soon, and I think it looks cool, and it's a little legend size, and I hope they come out with the rest of them. But it's never going to be the superior one because the Fans Project I still think looks better and stuff like that in its core. But if they come out with a Masterpiece version of the Insecticons, then that's going to be the superior one.
Yeah,
With the Masterpiece line, you're never going to have that to where, am I getting the most superior product for this character possible? The Masterpiece line, the answer is yes.
I sold
There's
MP10
never
out
going to be
for that.
anything better.
exactly. And it's
So-
like once you get a masterpiece, it's like I've heard you can't go back. So
I
I
went
mean,
back.
the whole thing is that if you spend money on Generations and you're like, you know what, I can get all these figures for whatever, $10, $12, $20, whatever the price is. Movie years they move up, they bump up in price point. But with the Masterpiece, like I would rather not have anything. If all my money had to only go to Masterpiece, that's what I would do because it's that great.
The one figure I would um that would get me into the line um um hurt the line is Cybertron, and the one figure that would get me collecting Cybertron would be would be Cybertron itself, aka Primus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it'd probably be the what was it called? The Zone Diatlus.
Oh,
Oh,
going with the expensive one.
Yeah,
Nice.
either that or Star Convoy. Yeah, either way.
start
So,
dropping serious cash.
yeah.
Star Convoy's not too bad, since he was reissued. But
Grandis though. not really.
good luck with Grandis. You're gonna be paying $1,000.
Well, that's what I said. Nothing I'm interested in with how high a price it has.
Yeah.
I would like to get an Overlord, but at the same time, I want to collect the Japanese G1 line too.
Damn, dude, you're gonna be
Um,
in debt for a while.
Yeah.
Dude,
Better off buying a house.
but yeah, and also the one figure that I think could never that I thought they did a horrible designing would be with Energon Optimus. Ugh! Ugh! Like if
Platinum, yeah.
like if it drone transformed into an individual robot, I could accept the design. But since it's are drones, that design gets 2 thumbs down.
Yeah.
Fat Optimus. Yeah, I hate him.
Yeah.
That guy.
One that I really don't like is
Now let's not go. Let's not resort to name calling. Some of us may find a little bit of offense to that.
Sorry, but
It is.
figure suck so bad.
Community.
so one I don't really like from Energon at all is I like the design of, but just didn't work at all was Wing Saber.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, it kind of went with that Prime, but yeah, I definitely see what you're getting at. That thing was awful.
The Demolisher dump truck was terrible.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to stay together really. It keeps like flopping.
And neither did my Snowcat.
No one's brought up the Bayformers stuff. I mean, which one would I not sell the Bayformers with? Well,
Devastator.
any of them. But yeah, I was going to say Devastator with his wrecking balls. So,
That's the thing. The toy didn't even have it. The toy was
Not Devastator. You
worse.
should show them Mixmaster.
Oh god.
That figure
into
is
the
the only figure
Constructicons.
that's really
The
made me
only
mad.
Constructicon I liked in figure form was Long Haul.
Yeah, I like Long Haul.
Demolisher.
Rampage I like because he was unique with his 4 legs.
Yeah.
The one I liked in the Bayformers, don't you guys shoot me, but I loved Nitro Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Nitro Bumblebee from Dark of the Moon.
That's a dark painted one with the kind of wicked, evil eyes.
No, that's the one he's talking about is the one that has the jet boosters on the back with all the solar panels on top.
Oh, no, I don't.
Hang on, I'll go get him.
The only one from like in Revenge of the Fallen, I did see one figure. I almost picked him up. It was the green dump truck. I forgot his name. Long Haul.
Long Haul.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Long Haul was really good.
Yeah. You know, once I remember seeing him in the stores before I saw the movie, and I thought that's what the Constructicons were going to look like. That they were going to bear some kind of resemblance to their G1 form. And when I saw Long Haul, I admit I got suckered. I was like, all right, Devastator's going to look decent. Then I started seeing images of it. I was like, no, it's not going to be Devastator. It's not going to be Devastator. Lo and behold, I see. I'd be damned.
I would
Mixmaster
say
gives me nightmares.
you would not sell me on any of the Bayformers if you just all I look at is the face. Like I can probably get past a lot of the other stuff, but giving them those humanoid faces just really doesn't do it for me. And a lot of people, you know, think that I absolutely hate Bayformers. I don't hate them. I just don't prefer them. It's not in my collecting habits, and they just don't appeal to me. So, like, if you collect Bayformers, or you like them, or you even like to make Michael Bay movies, like that's fine. Like, I don't have any negativity towards you or anything, but so someone said it was like, I don't know why you hate them so much, because I collect Bayformers. No, that's fine, but they're not my collecting habits, and I just don't like them, so I don't buy them.
And just for me, if I can add one thing, I saw a group of when I saw like a group shot of the Transformers from the Michael Bay films, right? Especially the Decepticons. If you look at a group of them, they're kind of hard to distinguish from each other. I mean, it does look like somebody. I think somebody on here said like a bag of knives or something like that. Yeah, all I see is like jagged edges and sharp spikes everywhere.
I guess it's a pretty accurate description of the Decepticons.
Yeah.
The only one that really doesn't have jagged spikes, and we really don't know if he's a Decepticon, is Lockdown.
Well, he's a bounty hunter. He can go either way.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, because we see Lockdown kicking the crap out of Optimus Prime.
You're gonna have to get that worked out there.
But I mean, we see Lockdown kicking the crap out of Optimus Prime and even shooting him. So maybe, until Galvatron comes around, I mean, that's who he's really fighting, or maybe he's fighting everybody. But James actually brought this up, that you're on the verge of extinction, and you had to get the Dinobots. So what is coming? Because so far you have Galvatron locked down, rumored Cyclonus. I mean, who are the other bad guys here?
Just from what I heard, just a bunch of Viacons,
So,
man-made Viacons.
Typical.
dude, you should be able to destroy those things. You don't need the Dinobots for those.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have something big. You have to have something big to call for, not just Grimlock, but 5 or however many Dinobots.
Yeah.
See, that's why I think they introduced the concept of the Fallen too early.
As far as selling the Bayformers, I mean the Dinobots, God, those are awesome. I haven't felt like I made a reasonable purchase on Bayformers, because I bought toys from Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon, but this 4th film, just with the Dinobots, man, I like them. I dig them a lot. But then again, that has a lot to do with my beast collecting tendencies. So.
Well, I'm with you too. I mean, I've collected from '07 to now. I have, Bayformers and such. Not whole, I don't buy a whole bunch of them. I really like the Human Alliance, like Sideswipe and Soundwave and those characters, those toys. But the Dinobots are really, regardless of even the Botcon having the whole Pirates and Knights theme,
Mm-hmm.
I really like the look of these Dinobots. Just for an updated look, kind of. I dig the color scheme. I mean, I'd rather have them, silver and such and all that, but they look good. For what it's worth.
I saw someone do a custom where they repainted the Bay Dinobots into the G1 colors. They look great.
Cheetamus.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, the scoring looks so awesome. He did.
The weathering and everything. Yes.
Oh, and did you guys see the tweet that we did on Cybercast Network, where we tweeted out the G1 Dinobots, but they were painted? It was a Digibash painted as the TF4 color. So I grabbed that from from the original user, and no one was talking about it. I put it up on Twitter, and now I saw it's on front pages of other Transformer websites. We didn't even put it up on ours because I was just it's just a Digibash. I'll put it out on Twitter. That thing got 70 something retweets and 50 like that. It was crazy. But people are even talking about that. That's not a possibility. In my opinion, that those things could even come out. I just like the crazy colors, in my opinion, but because the molds are just probably so destroyed that they're never coming out with those things again. They would have to recast them, which I don't know why Hasbro hasn't done yet. I mean, is it really that much effort to recast these things? Because that's what knockoff companies are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously don't have the mold. So they're just recasting.
I mean, hire one of them.
Yeah, no, I'm tempted to send Hasbro 5 Dinobots with all their weapons. Here you go, re-engineer it. There you go. You have no excuse. You have the toys.
You got to think when these knockoff companies recast them, the metal they use for these molds isn't the same grade Hasbro's going to use and pay a dickload of money for, especially when Hasbro knows, man, we have these molds sitting somewhere in storage that all we have to do is just repair them, and it's going to cost us a fraction of a fraction compared to just recasting and making a brand new, steel mold from it. So,
but
I don't know.
You're gonna, if you're Hasbro, you're gonna profit off of this.
Yeah.
They will, but is it the profit they're looking for? I mean, dude, I would love to have all 5 G1 Dinobots.
Dude, they're
that
going
would
to
be something
them in so many freaking colors. They're going to be doing TF4 recolors. They're going to be the G2s, 2 of them. Was it okay? We got Grimlock, we got Slag, and okay, so Swoop and Sludge. We did not get G2 recolors of, so they can do those and whatever. They can just pick 3 and you can do them. But the other 3 that we did get G2 colors of, they did them in 3 different G2 colors. So a lot of people thought, for some reason, a lot of people think that just G2 that they only came out with a blue Grimlock as G2 when it was actually silver, kind of a teal, and then actually a bright blue, to where Slag you had a red and you had a green and and stuff like that. So
But
you
our
actually
kids
had 3
buy
different
'em.
colors.
Like that's
Huh?
we would buy them. We would buy the hell out of them, but would kids buy them?
I think.
Yeah, that is
You have 4
true.
colors, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, you got the. Let's say if you do G1, everyone's gonna buy the G1 one. Jeez,
Package
my
them in
goodness,
like
my
the
phone.
Toys R Us double packs, instead of like the other Energon crap. But
Yeah.
Grimlock, the original, and then have the Age of Extinction version.
Also, do those molds still comply with today's toy safety standards?
Probably not.
Not the shooting missiles, and you're going. Let's see, Grimlock would be fine.
Anything
Slag
that could break
would be
off that
fine.
some 3-year-old could swallow. Like,
Swoop
that's it.
is Swoop is the only one that you'd have to be careful with.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
unbreakable.
And actually, from Swoop's original design from Diaclone, I mean, he had a sharp, pointy beak. He had sharp points at his wings, a sharp tail, to where they, rounded all those things off and made them not so sharp before they brought it over for Hasbro. So that's another. How you can tell whether something's
Would you be
knocked
all right
off
instead
or
of
it's Diaclone.
die cast, it'd be plastic, instead of some plastic would be rubberized plastic, things like that?
It's got to be like pretty much like an Encore.
Yeah,
Or
So that we need Takara to get their button gear.
basically.
That's what it needs to
I'm
happen.
just saying you can't come out like with Swoop. Part of the, or even the Dinobots, part of the lore is them with all the chrome. You have to have the chrome in there. And that see-through gold plastic where you see the inner electronics, and stuff like that. I mean, that's what really makes the Dinobots cool, other than them being dinosaurs and, just stupid robots. But, that's what makes them really cool, and you kind of gravitate towards them. And they came with, quite a few accessories. I'm sorry?
It would be kind of cool to have that Quantron to come out with an extra added accessory piece that has the helmet for Grimlock, whether it's for G1 or maybe Masterpiece, so you can transfer when he sells Smart to Quantron or Computron. That would be awesome.
Or even the Evolve Cybertron Grimlock, too.
Yeah,
Dr. Wu at least will come out with that,
I'd totally have that displayed on my shelf like that.
Um,
Quantron kneeled down and Grimlock just has the helmet, just like giving him all his smart.
I wonder why Hasbro didn't give us the rest of the Dinobots for the Fall of Cybertron line.
That's Brian Goldner making bad choices. That's what that is.
Yeah. And they're wondering, and they probably are scratching their head wondering why a third party would attempt. I heard that Swoop was pretty good.
Very.
Yeah.
Well, that has to do with the game not being very successful or having longer than a 2-month.
It was successful enough to sell Swoop.
Robbie, I'm gonna mute you until you're ready to talk, just because there's background noise. But part of the reason why they didn't come out with the rest of the stuff is they were coming out strong. The game was strong. People were buying it. People were buying DLCs. Money is getting deposited into Hasbro's pockets, and then all of a sudden the money kind of stops. And what's going on with this? Let's look on there. Are people interacting? There's 120 players online. I mean, what? So people don't like this anymore? Because High Moon Studio said that after the first week that they were done. Like, even if there's like crap to where you just get in the game and you're falling through the floor every single match, that they're not messing with anything. Like, the game is done and they're done with it.
Yeah, that sounded like a sour note. Wonder what happened there.
So,
Activision.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they want to focus on the next Call of Duty every single year. That's Activision's big thing. But you saw the popularity of the game, die down real quick. It was high at the very first, and then it died down. So they were like, there's no reason to really keep on coming out with these false Cybertron toys, and people probably quit buying them as well. So that's when they quit that. That's why I think that it's a great idea, even though I'm not a huge Bayformer fan, that they combine TF4 and also the kind of follow Cybertron design and those two games and integrate them together, because you got movie fans that would buy a movie game, and then you also have us that would buy a sequel or a third part to a Fall of Cybertron, and you put those together. So you put those two fans together, and also it's just a Transformer game. We're going to buy it regardless. All that together, and maybe the shelf life, instead of 2 months, maybe it goes to 4. Plus, this might also regenerate the Fall of Cybertron toy designs, because now they can sell those again, because it involves the game, and the game also has the designs of what are already being released as far as the toys for the movie, so they can be like, that's part of the video game as well. So there's a lot that they can do with it, and I just, as a business aspect, I think it was a smart idea. I mean, that's what I would have done in their situation. So you might see some video game characters come back in toy form.
Yeah.
Depending on how they're implemented into the game.
I'm just hoping. I don't know. I'm just hoping that, because lately I've just been game flying a bunch of stuff. Like I've got Watch Dogs on its way to me. I'm just hoping I'm not going to be wasting that $65 that I know I'm going to be wasting. You know what I mean?
Speaking of games, what do you all think about the MOBA?
The what?
The Transformers Universe MOBA game.
Transformers.
Thank you.
Oh, real quick, I just saw your shirt, Trent, killing in the name of. So.
Oh.
I just saw that. So.
Thank you. I get a lot of compliments on shirt. Apparently, I didn't know there were so many Rage Against the Machine fans.
Because I'm housing. How about that?
I was mainly in the '90s. I haven't listened to anything of them since really, after I graduated high school.
I think they just came back. I think they just got back together like last year sometime.
Why does Grimlock look kind of greenish in that new movie trailer that I just saw on TV?
Good question.
Whatever. We'll move past it.
A comment, Transformer Guy 223 says, even though the Energon figures were bad, they are still my faves, because I grew up with them. And you know what? I think everyone is pretty much the same way, that it doesn't matter, zero articulation, statues, whatever you want to call it, whatever you pretty much grew up with as a kid, that's what you're going to gravitate towards the most. So
yeah.
Fortunately, mine was G1, it wasn't V-Force, so thank God. So.
Oh man, we can't all be perfect and have the most excellent childhood with the best toys of the Transformers franchise, but hey, to each their own, right?
Am I allowed to kick people?
I don't know if you are.
I can ignore them, or I don't know. Looking under all my options, I can look at his profile, which I don't care about. I can ignore him or mute him. So.
Would have been nice. Beast Wars is one of the cheapest lines to
Thank goodness. Until you start getting into the Japanese stuff, and then it's like, I
Yeah.
don't know, but that's it's not hard to get a full American season 1, 2, and 3 cast. I mean, you can do all that under $500 easily.
Oh yeah.
That's what's in
Oh
my
my
opinion
goodness.
so awesome about it. But when you start getting into the Japanese stuff, it's like then things are starting to cost $200 there, $300 there, $100 here, so on and so forth. Um, so, and then some stuff's harder to find, and some
Yeah.
stuff isn't. Like the Elaforca or
Yeah,
Elforca,
man.
Elforca. That thing is so stupidly hard to find. Triple Deckus, another one that's just
Just
stupidly
rub
hard.
it in, man. Why don't you just rub it?
The Beast Wars second Diver and Niagara Falls playset. I think there's actually one on eBay right now, but still, you never see more than one or two at a time. Ickard and Takeo Tank, so on and so forth. I can keep on going with the Japanese stuff, but I typically I'm able to see an Overlord or a Brave Max or a Grand Max. I don't know. Let's say Grand Max. I don't know. Last time I looked, there were probably 2 or 3, and they were in terrible condition. I don't know. Some of that stuff's harder to find, but then same goes for the Japanese G1. Like a lot of that stuff's stupid hard to find.
Well, it's like Brave. Some of the Brave stuff is hard and hell to find, but when you do find it, it's not like it's terribly expensive though. It's just trying to find it.
I hear you. Just like that Elaforca, $100.
Yeah.
We get it. We get it.
The
You
thing
got
about G1, G1, you're going to be paying, in most cases, at least $50 per figure. In most cases, but it's usually more. I mean, even whenever you start looking at, Action Masters, those things are starting to go up in price as well, which I kind of like because I just want to sell all mine.
So when did the fandom hit its head?
Well, it's Botcon. I think Botcon helps that too.
It's
figures and all that.
It's also the G1 figures or not G1 figure, but G1 collectors James and I, to where we want to get our our American G1 collection complete and our Japanese, and maybe that's to us that we're just like, that's all I want to complete. And then once it's complete, then we're like, okay, I feel like I need to move on to something to where now I'll move into the little micro masters, and so now all those are complete. I got all the bases. What's the next thing? And you got people eventually now next thing is Action Masters, and they're like, all right, let's collect all those, to where no one would have paid $1 for those things years back, but now some of them are up to like $50 and plus.
Yeah, look at the Pretenders.
Yeah, Pretenders. I mean, those are getting more expensive, and they're a while back. I mean, dude, you couldn't give one of those things away. So that's kind of the way that you see all these people that are Transformer fans. They start collecting, and as they start to complete their collection, they're like, what's next? And it ends up being some of these things that a lot of times we just make fun of, but now you're like, do I hang on to that? Because now it's worth quite a bit of money. Me, I'm selling it because I just think it's crap.
One thing that really say that is I'm trying to complete the Darker Moonline, and some of the figures, like the Final Seeker, cost like $50.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, and you look at like Leadfoot, the deluxe size Leadfoot, the stuff that didn't reach, U.S. shores. If you want to complete your wreckers, I mean that's absolutely horrible. I mean, it's nice that we got like the Target exclusive Human Alliance Leadfoot, but for me, I would like to get that. For some reason, I want the deluxe size so I can complete that record. It just seems
3 of the deluxe wreckers.
Yeah, I see my shelf and I'm like, well, there's Topspin, there's Roadbuster. I just haven't pulled the trigger on getting a Leadfoot because I don't want to pay those ridiculous prices. One for a Bayformer, but it's like
I
have to.
I don't know what Hasbro was thinking when they gave us a normal Roadbuster.
Yeah, I wish he would have been weaponized. I have the top spin.
Hmm.
And I love it, man. The whole weaponized look. And then I was looking at Roadbuster on the shelf. I was like, oh, it's just a regular, boring NASCAR.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of trash is that? So,
And they give us the Human Alliance version for
and the all,
Roadbuster.
yeah,
And I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. And then Leadfoot is just a normal car in the Human Alliance.
he's the normal
Okay.
NASCAR.
We never got top spin
That's
either.
No.
that's why I like Nitro Bumblebee, because um he looked like he can go down the street, either behind the record or leading the record, and they all look good together.
Yeah.
Hmm. I have a question for you, Dakota,
What's up?
because I know you're a Beast Wars fan. Not trying to discount any other Beast Wars fans here, but
I am.
cool. Then you can chime in on this also. Universe Cheetor or Henkei Cheetor? Is it worth picking up, or should I just go and just keep my original Cheetor from?
I'll put it to you this way. I bought the Universe Cheetor twice and sold it twice. Because I tried to like it the first time and failed. I tried to like it the second time and failed.
Okay.
So, if that answers your question, I would track down a Telemoka. Just leave it at that.
Is there a difference between the Henkei and the Universe? Like
The chromed little disc
Basically.
throwers.
And on the head, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that doesn't really justify the price.
I agree with Dakota. If you're gonna get a Cheetor, get the to do a Beast War shelf, get the original Cheetor and Tiger Tron until Hasbro makes a proper Cheetor and Tigertron.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I picked up the Japanese Tigatron along with the 2001 Botcon version. Because the Japanese actually is white and has a little bit different paint apps than the U.S. version. Because it's what the U.S. is like cream colored. little bit.
Yes. Yeah, and there was the Japanese one that was a wider one, and then there was the Telemoka one that was
Yeah.
just like goodness white.
Is the Botcon Tigertron the one made out of the Clocker mold?
Yes, him and Cheetor both are the Clocker mold.
Oh, it depends on which Botcon one you're talking about.
I'm talking about the 2001.
I was using the X9 or
That was the Transmetal.
Yep.
Cheetor. Bold, whatever.
Yeah, I mean basically. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What about that? I didn't catch the bit with the Transmetal mold.
What Transmetal?
I thought you were talking about the. Never mind. Let's just not worry about it.
Sorry.
You're boring us with
It's
this
making
Space Force stuff,
confusing.
dude.
No, I've been putting a lot of shelving into my room, and I'm now looking at my Beast Wars. Sorry, Josh. And it's kind of bare, so I've been going back
Oh,
through.
dude, I'll get you a list by the
throwing
morning.
stuff in there. So
I'll get you the perfect list by the morning.
Like if I ever get the RID Predacons, I would put those in a Beast Wars shelf.
yeah, I'm getting the Transmetal 2 version of some of them. They're gonna go on my records, at least Spidor.
Yeah, I think it was just Spidor and the bat looking thing. Sonar, thank you. Couldn't think of her name.
Who in here hasn't got the G1 Predaking yet? It's still at HasbroToyShop.com. If
Really?
none of you guys
How
have it.
much?
It's I think it's still 109 or 119.
Crap. I'm hoping to find it at that cheap price.
Well, you're not gonna find it at $55 again. When we told everyone on Cybercast, if you want this thing or even are debating it, buy it now. It's $55. And Dakota's like, you know what? I still thinking about it. And then that went right back up.
That's just it. Like I just had other stuff on my plate that was more important. But it's like, man, if it does, which I think it will, we'll see.
Just like the Generations Metroplex at Costco being $50.
Yeah.
That
Oh
to
my!
me is
I
just
have-
like
Whoa!
I
should have
have
just been picked up.
Oh, so
no interest in I have no interest in G1 Predaking. So that's a figure I'm taking a pass on.
he's good if you like G1 stuff. But Trent 5, you obviously did not follow us, before Christmas time on the Cybercast. Because during
And I
Christmas
do
time
apologize about that.
we use usually on right before Christmas
Mhm.
we looked up all the sales. We looked up all the sales going on different websites: Toys R Us, Target, Walmart, Amazon, all those different places, and we kind of discussed those prior to getting into everything. So we're gonna do that again this year.
Okay.
And like you were finding like deluxe generation figures for like $4. Like whenever Hoist and Trailbreaker came out, we were like, yeah, go here right now, free shipping, $4 a figure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
Same with the
forever
Voyager classes
like
too.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Okay.
We are the best spot to find deals. You have to follow us.
even though we buy expensive figures, we're all cheap asses. So
We
Amen.
are the shoppers.
it's actually the only way you can afford the expensive stuff is to spend as little as possible on the others.
Yeah.
I always got to throw in a cheap figure there to calm down my wife. I'm like, what? Really? $200?
Oh,
Now
but
you're
hey,
buying something that's only 20. What? Why don't you just buy these? Like, no, there's a difference. Just trying to equal it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Any other topics you guys want to talk about, or are you?
I actually had one.
Oh,
Yeah.
quick to get an answer there. Yeah. All right.
Stickering or repro labeling Masterpiece and Botcon figures, because I know we kind
Oh, I
touched
wouldn't
on that a
touch
little bit.
Botcon either.
Why is Botcon even in the same conversation as Masterpiece?
Oh my god.
Oh, we just opened a new door.
of. Yeah, are we really about to go here?
Let the debate in.
All right, because probably I don't know, Botcon figures do the same amount as terms of keeping their value and then going up as Masterpiece figures, with a few exceptions. Most notably 2013, I think. Other than that, you're not going to find hardly any of the Botcon figures for what they went for, much less any less, unless you're looking really good. So yeah, that's why they're on the same page. Super limited, collector geared.
I get that they're
figures.
super limited, and
They're geared towards
to me though,
collectors,
it's just
like Master.
it's just a recolor of a Chug figure. I mean, that's
I mean,
always
honestly, like, who gives
it's a
a shit? It's
recolor
geared
of a
towards
Chug
collectors.
figure that came in a styrofoam. But you know what? You love it, and that's awesome about you. I have nothing against your collecting habits. I'm just saying that Masterpiece is on like a whole different level. That'd be like if I,
It's
like
hardly
I can't
on
even I can't even compare Masterpiece with like really good third parties.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't compare Masterpiece to third parties either. I can easily compare Masterpiece and Botcon figures. They're both-
Fans Toys Quakewave is closer to being a Masterpiece than it is a Botcon figure.
That okay? I'm not sure. Anyways, they're both like extremely geared towards collectors. I mean, it's not. It's hardly the same as a repainted Chug figure. I mean, I find that very close-minded, I guess. I mean, no, I mean, I get like Masterpieces.
I'm just saying that's the way I look at them. Not that that's what they are, but that's the way that I look at them, and that's why that's why it doesn't intrigue me. I'm not talking down upon it, or I'm not trying to come across, even though I know sometimes I say stuff and I'm not really trying to come across that way, but that's the way I do. So my apologies for that, but I look at them in two different things. You know, like yes, it is a very collector limited edition thing that Botcon is, and also probably their subscription service. Not as much as the Botcon, but
Yeah.
you know it's collector friendly. But Masterpiece, like they're just two different things, and I think they also go with two different types of collectors.
Yeah, I mean, and
I think the Botcon thing is a lot more acceptable to people that love the Chug line, to where the Masterpiece is more for people like me and James that are just like, we're G1 hardcores.
See,
and
that's-
even
and
though
that's-
there's a couple of Chugs that were like, this is all right, you know, you're giving me what I saw back in the 80s in toy form. What I saw on TV, you're giving it to me now. You know,
Yeah.
that's the way I kind of separate those. So,
but I mean, like that's
I didn't mean to insult you.
Yeah. I mean, we're good, dude. It's not even the Chug thing because I don't collect Chug. It's a totally different spectrum, but all while being geared towards the same audience. You know, you're gonna see a Masterpiece reissue. You're gonna see that. You're not gonna see a Botcon toy reissue. You know what I mean? It's something that just won't happen. They're not gonna start making all these previous year's custom class figures because there were only 60 of them made, with the exception of like this year and last year. But I mean, regardless, they are, I mean, just on that kind of playing field, I guess, where Masterpiece
And
there can be enough demand, and there you go.
Sorry, Dakota, do you have some type of thing to where you're going to walk up to me and kick me in the nuts? Excuse me? I'm just reading these right now, and I'm like, what? When is this happening? Because I can tell you it is not.
I'm filming it. That's all I know. I'm just.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you and Punk Wally been plotting on me?
We have not. Tell him, Punk.
Well, here, real quick. Now, I'll pose this question to you, Dakota, and I already know the answer, but would you put repro labels on, let's say, Antagony, knowing how limited?
Yeah, and here's where it gets fun. The reason I posed that question is because Aaron Black, the guy that owns Repro Labels, has said he's never going to do Repro Label sets for Botcon toys.
Thank God.
Which it's like, you look at the unpainted, pre-assembled custom class figures, oh my god, is that begging for Repro Label treatment. Would I do that? You know, and that's just it. I believe, like, I'm not going to put stickers on any Botcon or Masterpiece figure. Unless they come with, like, G2 Sideswipe, I'd that's the one I'd make the exception for.
Tiger Trex comes with it.
I'd probably do it for Masterpiece Prime for the trailer. That's pretty much it.
Even then, dude, I just wouldn't. It just, like, it's such a taboo thing. Even with Masterpiece, like, no way. I would never put stickers on a Masterpiece.
Dust Mites left a comment. He says, "Never tell the woman how much." Babe, that big guy is called Hercules, and he's only cost $40. I know, great deal, babe. It's not what they know, what they can prove.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got
All
a
right.
linked bank account, so I can't really hide things.
And then all you have to do, I have to remember to the guy that typed that, says all the one has to do is just go Google TFC Hercules.
Yeah.
That's when you tell her you got it on clearance. You bought it from TFC.
You got it in a trade.
90% off.
I'm getting these all from the manufacturing to review on my YouTube channel, honey. They're all free.
Yeah. Then what happened to all that money? Oh, I spent it on drugs and food.
Drugs, alcohol, you know, just the normal stuff. Not toys though. Come on.
Oh, I had a quick thing that I was thinking about doing, and because next week, I don't know if I'll be able to be on Aftercast just because I have to go to bed early and wake up at like 6. Because we're leaving here at 6:30 in the morning to go to Acon, and Dakota's going to be there. I was my buddy Jeremy's going to go with me. I was thinking about doing kind of a small, it's only going to be like 2 or 3 minutes long, but a small parody video of me and Dakota to where we're faking Toy Hunter, where I'm like, I'm Josh, Hala said, I'm a toy hunter, and right now we're here at Acon, and because we're here, I ended up bringing my big bone friend, my chubby friend, because that's what he does, right? He always brings that like chubby dude around with him and stuff when he goes to conventions. So I was like, yeah, and I brought him here, and we're here at Acon, and I kind of like thought this out a little bit, but try to make it as entertaining as possible. But I'm like, yeah, so since I'm here at Acon, brought around my buddy Dakota, also known as Primal Sabbath, just because, he knows a lot about these anime girly figures. He's been, reading Playboy since 1994, and he's a huge Chun-Li fan, so we just kind of dive into it. We get some of the dealers to kind of in on it to where you'd be like, how much is this figure? And it's like, oh, we're selling it for like $300 or something like that. I'm like, ooh,
and
what?
One of us can freak out and say, oh my God, it's worth $10,000.
You know what? It's only worth $10. And but I'll give you $5. I'll give you $5, and just try to get them in on it. The whole like awkward negotiations that they do on that show, and some of the little things that you always find funny or ridiculous, like kind of implement them into that video. I didn't know if Dakota would want to be in on that.
Oh, I would.
I think it would be. I think it would be hilarious to do.
It'd be a good thing to do at Botcon too. Have the 4 of us with it.
Oh yeah, I mean even at both conventions, I'd be good with doing it both.
Maybe
so
I could just do
that's
that
right. I
one
wasn't be able to
video
do it.
into just one big thing with Acon and TFCon, but I plan on doing dealer rooms, cosplay, all that stuff.
You're not cosplaying though.
I'm going as an
Sailor Moon, anything like that? No.
Yep.
Dakota,
I'm going to Sailor Mars. That's my favorite.
If Dakota was in like some Sailor Moon costume, to where like his shirt like only came like it just came right below his chest and was cut off, and you see his like big hairy belly and stuff sticking out and stuff, and these like little bitty blue shorts. That would probably be the scariest thing, but most hilarious.
I would make so much money, you guys.
And you see him in like a wig with blonde pigtails.
Only if you were a tuxedo mask would I do that.
Oh wow.
I know.
I get it, Dakota. I get it.
I would do it. I mean, I would. I'd really want to be Sailor Mars. I'd be Sailor Moon just for you, Josh.
So we done here?
Yeah, I think we're done. We'll end on that. So for all you live viewers, you can just have that in your mind, that picture.
Nope.
Primal Sabbath.
You guys are gonna go to sleep with that. You're gonna
For all the technical difficulties, guys.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, that's cool, man.
All right, so thanks to all the live viewers for watching us this week. Really do appreciate it. Again, we're here every Saturday at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. You guys want to out yourselves? We'll start with Dakota.
I'm Dakota. You can find me everywhere at Primal Sabbath. And I'll be cosplaying Sailor Moon next weekend.
And he loves shout-outs. So if you have a YouTube channel, Twitter account, anything, shout out Primal Sabbath.
Let's not do that. Let's never do that.
Right, Charles? You're up.
Charles. You can find me on Twitter at Optimus4Prez, and Xbox Live is AutoCon365.
And Dalton.
I'm Dalton. You can find me on Twitter at DaltoniansTFs95. And as I said at the beginning, this time I'm going to say it a lot faster. My screen name has changed to Daltonians TFs, but it's still Daltonians TF Reviews on YouTube.
So it's Dalton. Just Google Dalton. Jay, you're up.
You can find me on Twitter at NemesisJazz13.
Josh.
You can find me G1 Hextron on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, and also on my Facebook page, the G1 Hextron.
All right. And co-conspirator Punk.
I had nothing to do with that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why do you hate my nuts so much?
Oh man.
Punk Wale, you can find me at YouTube, same name.
Right on. And
And
Robbie?
also creator of the
You
Cybercast Network
um
T-shirts. And
Yes.
Oh
background.
you can find me on Cybercat on Cybercat Network at Bionicle Master 30. Um YouTube Robbie Reed and 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 Twitter Robert Reed.
Cool. Hey, you do a great job, Punk, with our web designs and our shirts, and looking forward to all the other designs that you have
Yeah,
for
I'm
us.
working on that. I'm working on that other T-shirt now.
Sweet.
So
Torrance?
Trends5 at Facebook and Trends5 at Twitter.
Cool. And I'm James, Victory Saber 77. Find me, just two places. I think you guys can guess where I'm at. So, thanks for watching again. And
And the Cybercast Network stuff.
yes,
Oh, sorry.
I'm getting there.
I'm sorry.
This is his show,
Yeah.
Josh. Let him do it his way.
Dude, I've like had so much people say they're gonna kick me in the nuts, man. I'm like a little jumpy here, okay?
Well,
So,
cool.
sorry.
You have to wear a cup now on.
Go Timbo.
But
24/7.
check us out on our website, www.cybercastnetwork.com. Get all your Transformers news. We stream live the Aftercast Cybercast topic cast. What are we calling that? Topic show, CCN topic show,
CCN Topic Show.
topic show. Okay.
CCN Transformers topics? Oh, whatever. I don't even run that thing.
Are you
Wait,
getting-
it
All
is
of 'em are
on
off the cuff.
Tuesdays at 6:30 though on the Cybercast Network YouTube channel. So check it out. Follow us on Twitter, CybercastNet. Like our Facebook page. We have Instagrams coming up soon, and that's about it. So we will see you guys next week. Take it easy.
All right.